Most girls start to menstruate between ages 10 and 15. Every girl's body has its own schedule, but for many girls in rural Ghana, crossing into puberty marks the beginning of pain and shame. Fathers ignore and mistreat their daughters, most of whom miss school for a number of days every month because they either cannot afford or lack access to sanitary pads. That is the devastating reality for girls in several communities in Ghana's Upper East region.
So this is how I always do it. Now do like this. So when I finish, and now.
This is to conceal the monthly flow of blood, a natural cycle considered impure and unclean in communities such as this one. It is not difficult to guess why menstruation is not talked about. 15-year-old Ernestina Tule has been living with her father and grandmother for almost 4 years. Her mother quit the marriage due to frequent maltreatment from her husband each time she menstruates.
Yes, if you even told him, he always said that he's not caring about it. Even that himself, he doesn't want to see it.
Why?
I don't know. Even when we were in Kumasi, that he built my mother bathroom for her, and she too is having his bathroom, all because of when she gets menses. Even if she gets menses and cook for him, he will not even eat.
Ernestina's father confirmed his disgust for menstruation.
Be an sabbat me moon first and me wohon. Mitime me jore wo me sit down best and me ya jwana wanche. Obi ya sa no mpese ojo. O jore nkura me ekro me be dead on my fe.
I can't use the same bathroom with a woman menstruating. I just hate it. And if I even eat food prepared by a woman in her period, I'll vomit.
Ernestina's situation is a double whammy. She does not only deal with her father's disgust, but faces a bigger challenge in school. She misses school for at least 2 days during her 4-day menstrual period because she cannot afford the luxury of using a sanitary pad. During examinations, she juggles between school and home to change and wash her rags.
I always change it. I'm having about 3 of them. If I get up in the afternoon like this, I will get up and go and bath and wash the other one. When I bath finish, I will go and change the other one. In the evening time, I'll wash that one and change the other one.
Teachers in the Kandiga MA school say it is a worrying situation, but there is little they can do about it.
My class, some of them, you see, maybe getting to 24th, 20, some of them will not come to school. If you ask and say I was in my menstrual period, so I don't have pad, I don't have this. So due to that, they will not come to school. So unless if you have something, you just give it to the child to help the child. So it's a problem for some of the teachers.
Does that affect them academically?
Yeah, some of them, because the person will be absent from school. Definitely it will affect the child.
Girls in Kandiga are not the only ones caught up in this menstrual hygiene mismanagement web. Many other young schoolgirls in Kansogu, a town in the Boku West district, resort to rags. This is mainly because they cannot afford to buy sanitary pads that sell at 3 cedis or less.
There's no money to buy. My mother told me, if he told me that there's no money, so we will use that one. I always feel bad. I feel bad. So me, I don't know tomorrow what will happen to me. Because school, if I sit and it came into my uniform, our school children will know, so they will laugh at me.
For teachers in Kansogu, It would be of great help if schools were given sanitary pads periodically to ensure menstrual hygiene.
Some always complain of getting money to buy pads. You know, some parents too, it's like the way they don't educate them how to use those things, they are not aware of it. To me, what I think will help is about the pad. Like, we the teachers, we can provide the pad to them always. So if we could get that help from anywhere, that will always help, or from government, that they always provide us with the pad, or always give it to them. That can also help.
Adiza Kubura Al-Hassan is the district school health education program coordinator for Boku West.
Parents don't talk to their children on these menstrual issues and sex education. They see it, I don't know, but they see it to be something that they should even discuss with the children. But most of the things the children go through, especially teenage pregnancy like this, is as a result of ignorance. And it is something that the SHEP unit is actually into very seriously. But these days, funding is a problem. Some of these activities that I said we have undertaken is as a result of support from NGOs.
In 2014, Ghana's parliament approved a $156 million loan from the World Bank, part of which was to be used to provide free sanitary pads for schools. The sanitary pads were to be supplied to less privileged students under a scholarship scheme in the Ghana Secondary School Improvement Program. At the time of the announcement, the then minority in Parliament raised several concerns questioning the allocation of the sanitary pads. 4 years down the line, many schoolgirls in deprived areas continue to miss school because of either unavailability or unaffordability of the pads. Our interest in this matter took us to the Education Ministry. Catherine Mikado is the National Director of the Girls Education Unit.
Well, I may say that I took this seat in 2014, but I also heard it in the air, but nothing of that sort came to us in the unit. Yeah, if they did it on their own, that one is a different thing. With the help of some individuals, some NGOs, they have been able to supply sanitary pads. And for us in the unit, we've also reached out to about 60,000 girls through the support from DFID. They gave scholarships to girls at the JHS level in the very deprived communities in 75 districts. And sanitary pad is part of the package. So every year, each girl gets 120 sanitary pads. It's unfortunate that project has ended. And we are also looking at how to sustain the program.
Kenya has an effective free sanitary pad distribution program that has reduced absenteeism in schools. Ernestina and Elizabeth would have been benefactors of the Ghana government's free sanitary pads to keep them in class. According to a GES report released in 2015, half of adolescent girls in the country have no knowledge about menstrual hygiene practices before their first period. The report indicates that 95% of girls sometimes miss school for about a week due to menstruation, resulting in poor performance. Yet nothing has been done about it. Interestingly, there were some young girls who had never seen or heard about pads. Little Wonder One would ask if what we carried in our hands were biscuits.
Action said that, is it biscuit?
Why? Why were you asking if it is biscuit? Because it looks like biscuit, eh?
Yes.
Doctors continue to warn against the usage of rags and other materials during menstruation.
If they use any rag that they find and it is not washed and dried before use, And even when they use, they don't wash and dry in the sun to kill as much as possible the bacteria that is in there. And they keep them in cool places. Then the chances are that you can get germs growing in the cloth. So now if they use this cloth, then they are also adding to the high chance of getting infection. And that is what will happen. So it is important that they don't use just any rag.
For the first time in a long while, Ernestina and Elizabeth will use sanitary pads. This will last for a while, but what will it take for the government to walk the talk? Alice Aryeetey, GH1 News.